Gladys Wanga mama matioma mami chejo pinigema mama bei pako ni chejo pinga anozie poyo yo kipenjaga atawe mama matioma deke mapinyo poyo niluke kolo poya mafungu pedoma niluke magolo poya mafungu pedoma niluke machio poya mafungu pedoma yabernya wanga ya mama makonya pingema yabernya wanga ya chejo pinge yaber chumalo godo neni pinge tagiyo mate yaber chumalo godo neni pinge mama chumalo godo neni pinge makanya josoba mama amilo wadogo makanya josoba mani mana no yoro
Thank you very, very much. Now, without further ado, can we have the students, please? Committee. So we'll just introduce members of the committee, and then one of them is going to give a brief speech, which you already did. So to just say your name and your position in the committee.
Good afternoon. Then our keynote speaker, Professor Sparling, the Governor of Homa Bay County, the bird girl, I can see her, our Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you bored? Okay, so my name is Maureen Molly. I was the Vice Chancellor. I was the Vice Chair. Okay, and I'm going to give out a brief speech on how these things went. Just a minute. So let me just start again. So the keynote speaker, Professor Sparling, the Honorable Governor of Homa Bay County, Gladys Wanga, our respected Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, fellow students and comrades, good afternoon. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you this day as part of the organizing committee of this special lecture. A day set aside not just to remember a man, but to reignite a legacy. The idea of organizing this Mboya Memorial Day came from the students, that is us, and we went forward and shared it with our Vice Chancellor. We went forward and shared it with even the Honorable Governor, and they approved it. So this idea at Mboya University was born from the shared desire to connect with the roots of our institution's name. If you know, our university is named Mboya University. So, and more importantly, the values that Mboya stood for, those values are the visionary leadership, the youth empowerment, education, and even he talked about social justice. So in commemorating this day, we do not just look back, but we look forward. We are reminded that our struggles, our triumphs, of those who came before us, the likes of Mboya, the likes of Dedan Kimathi, the likes of Jomo Kenyatta, those ones that came before us should not end with memory, but should inspire action. Action that improves our lives, action that serves our people, actions that develops especially the youth, the very generation that Mboya talked so much about. You remember he was just inspired by the youth because actually he was a youth. He died even as a youth. So today, as students, we find ourselves reflecting not only on the history of the great son of Africa, but also on our present, on the challenges we face right here from our university. One such pressing challenge, our dear governor, is the issue of housing. And we know very well, Mboya talked about education. And you cannot be educated without, a good environment for you. Right now, we are expecting 4,200 freshers, first years, 4,200. And those are just freshers, so we are waiting. And you can imagine the people now who are still in session. So it's a big number. Now, this is a challenge that we should take positively, because our county is growing. Just to mention, I just came here 2021. We are the corona babies. I can say that. So I was admitted here 2021, and for the 4 years I've stayed here in Homa Bay, I can testify that Homa Bay has really grown. You see this, I used to live in prison. That road, tungekuwa tukikuja class, we are full of mud. But tumekanyaga matope, lecture ilikuwa inaanza 8, but ukiingia class paka unaona lecturer ako like, huyu ni mwanafunzi kweli. But we want to acknowledge the works of our governor. The road is like saizi, mnaona kama niko na matope. I'm very clean. Imagine just walking kwa barabara iko na lami from my house up to the school. Then you see our VC has made the school environment so comfortable. Juu saizi sioni kama kuna mtu ako na matope. So we need to acknowledge that. Makofi jameni. So the problem of housing, our dear governor, we would like you to, just do something, because actually I don't know how the students where they are going to live. Like right now, there is a problem of housing at the moment. So what about when they come? So yeah, we need even if it is atakama ni. So today, as students, we find ourselves reflecting not only on the history of the great son of Africa, but also on our present, on the challenges. I talked about the housing. So, honorable guests, members of the administration, it will be great and a disservice if we remember Mboya and failed to speak about the conditions that continue to hinder the potential of the very youth we fought for. So as comrades, we urge for deliberate attention to be paid safe, affordable and accessible housing for students, not as a privilege, but as a necessity. A student cannot thrive, cannot innovate, cannot dream when they are uncertain about their shelter. So as we celebrate this day, may it be more than a ceremony. Let it be a call to action. A call to continue with what Mboya started, a movement of dignity, a movement of education, and a movement of empowerment. In closing, I want to appreciate everyone who made this event possible, because if you could not have come, this event could not have been, the way it is. So I want to appreciate you, the administration, our keynote, the governor. I want to appreciate you, and even my fellow committee members. They really worked tirelessly to make this day a success, and the entire student body. Let this not be a one-day event. Let it be a continuous conversation on how to carry the torch that Tom Mboya left burning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can appreciate her. Then now they just say their names and their positions, and then we will have a brief documentary.
So, hello everyone. Yeah, I was the chair of this committee. I'm George Odong. Good afternoon. I'm Marshall Lonix Owor, the treasurer of this committee.
Good afternoon. I'm Reinhard Bunke Odongo, member of this committee.
Good afternoon. Omondi Genevieve is my name. I was the secretary of the committee.
Good afternoon. Comrades power! Comrades fever! Comrades wisdom! Thank you so much. I'm the Secretary General of this committee. And the Secretary General knoweth the depth, the height, the breadth, and the weight, and the pain of what the committee carries. Is that right? So allow me assassinate the governor with some wisdom. Before I return this, let me be here so that they don't take this microphone. I know they never wanted the SG to say something, but this is what the SG is saying. Honorable Governor, distinguished guest, Millie Odhiambo, and all other guests, thank you very much for purposing to attend to this event. It was a student-led event, and majority of you, maybe you have just come today to this event. This suit is just for today, but has never slept over this matter, organizing everything from March, before even doing my second semester. Say hello. So whether it had challenges, as Tom Mboya, we said that the struggle is for those who believe that you can fail, but failure is moving from one, success is moving from one failure to another failure without the loss of enthusiasm. Say amen. Africans power. Africans viva. Tom Mboya power. Thank you very much, Madam Governor, for honoring to support this event. We say thank you, Mama Asante. Kama si wewe ingeanguka. But for the others, our leaders are people who have tight and fixed schedule. I know they could never visit their account to do something, but today they have time. Allow me say we have the bank here. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Comrades power, comrades wisdom, comrades viva. Thank you so much. I'm Jacob Otieno Mulo. I was a member of this committee standing in for the ushering. Thank you so much.
Viva comrades, viva! Comrades power! Power comrades! So my name is Anjumbe. I was serving as the special member of this committee, and we started in March. The dream started in March. It is now concluding today. We are so thankful. Thank you so much, Governor. Millie Odhiambo, Bad Girl Millie, thank you for coming today. Thank you, Vice Chancellor. This is, you are the boss around here. Thank you for allowing us to have this here. Professor Sparling, welcome. This is Tom Mboya University. We are really glad to have you here. And to the students of Tom Mboya, we love you. This would not have been possible without you. Yeah, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Otieno Polo Chieng. I was in charge of coordinating sports and entertainment. For the good music here was led by Tom Paul, or me. I second what the SG has said. The bank is here. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, our students. You can say hi to the governor as you sit. So please, can we have the documentary, please, Ed?
By far the most brilliant politician Kenya has. Ever produced.
Been elected chairman of this conference. I wonder, would you tell me what it is about?
Well, this is the first conference of all African political and trade union leaders ever to be held in Africa.
At the young age of 30, he had made it to the cover of Time magazine as one of Africa's brightest political stars.
Let us hope that change there will be.
Tom Joseph Mboya was born on August 15th, 1930. His parents, Leonard Ndiege and Marcella Awor, sent him to Kaba Primary School near Thika, where his father was working as a laborer for a European farmer. In 1942, Mboya was transferred to St. Mary's Yala in central Nyanza and then moved to the Holy Ghost College Mangu, then the leading boarding Roman Catholic high school in the country. Mboya was at Mangu for only 2 years before he left in 1948 to join the Vocational Training Institute Jean School at Kabete. Soon after graduating from Jean School, he was employed by the Nairobi Municipal Council as a sanitary inspector. Not long after he joined the Nairobi Municipal Council, Mboya quit his job to go into politics and trade union activities. He was among those who moved in to fill the vacuum after Jomo Kenyatta and other Kenya African Union (KAU) leaders were arrested on October 22, 1952, jailed and later detained by the colonial government for supporting the Mau Mau rebellion.
Do you believe in Africa for Africans?
Well, I believe in Africa for the Africans in the context that there is a place called Africa, and that the people who live in that place must want to call themselves Africans. And by that, of course, I'm referring particularly to the non-Africans, the immigrant communities who have decided to make parts of Africa their homes.
Mboya served as KAU's Director of Information until the colonial government banned KAU in June 1953. That would force Mboya to concentrate his efforts on trade union activities. By 1955, he had risen to be Secretary General of the Kenya Federation of Labour.
Well, this expression cannot just be defined in one word because it represents a lot of things. It represents, for example, our belief that in Africa, the kind of economic, social and political institutions that make sense must find their meaning in the African...
the umbrella organization for the country's trade unions. By then, too, the British had put down the Mau Mau rebellion and had started relaxing some of the restrictions on African political activity in the country. For the first time, Africans were allowed to vie for seats in Kenya's hitherto white settler-dominated Legislative Council, or LegCo. Mboya would be one of 8 African leaders who were elected to the LegCo in 1957 after easily winning.
Our sincere apology. The documentary was actually a video. We are not sure why they're not able to play the video. So we'll let that go. And allow me to take this opportunity to invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Charles Ochola, to take over the program from here.
Your Excellency, the Governor, the great county of Homa Bay, the chief guest, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, MP Suba North, the CECs present, other guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. I had talked, but I must talk because our governor is here. The governor, these students are telling us, we negotiate for the bank to come, and they're reminding us there is a bank here. I wish KCB was here to pay us for marketing them. Because you know, this bank is going to make our students and parents safe. They can now send their money through this bank into the university. And therefore, they don't need to go into town, have the risks of finding themselves in cave-in for anybody who has lived in Overbay. You know, cave-in is one of the best places in this town. And I remember when I was growing, we used to go down the cave-in. Now, the governor, assuring you and this congregation, we want to live the spirit of Mboya. In terms of how he wanted us to live, not only in this country, not only regionally and globally, but also locally. And that is the more reason why this memorial lecture or gathering is important to us. And that is why that spirit is important, because it encourages us to do what you see we are doing. And we are going to continue the struggle. And we are going to make sure that this university lives by its name. Governor, the students are saying what is in my heart. That when I was growing, I lived in a very good hostel. When the University of Nairobi was the university. I was living in Mboya hostel. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the catering services. I enjoyed the environment. I enjoyed going to class and the library. Unfortunately, and I'm alive to that, these students are not enjoying that part of education. But I want to assure them there is hope. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. In 2016, Madam Governor, we did not even have a class at all. The only replica of a class that we had was in Sonyako building. And that is where the students were living in those bad environments and going to take their lectures in Sonyako. The only thing that was in here was the tint office that I was sitting and the asbestos rooms that you see. Fast forward, we are where we are. Maybe the students are dreaming, but I want to assure them that by the end of next year, they may not enjoy, some of them may not enjoy that hostel they want, they will get. Pesa iko, kwani iko nini? And the money which is there will be used to build a hostel. You don't need to have a lot of money to do all these things. You only need to have a vision and a mission, and you always make sure that the little resources that you have, you make to good use. Madam Governor, these people are talking of hostels, but I also want them to swim. We are groundbreaking an Olympic-sized swimming pool in this university. This month, next week. an Olympic-size swimming pool because we want this region with a lot of talent, a lot of sports talent, to have sports science. That one, Madam Governor, we have already awarded the contractor. It's going to start, and within a few months, Olympics as the whole country. Why am I doing that? Because these students and the young ones who are outside there should start enjoying the services in the university so that they appreciate what a university is and they work hard to come here. I've been promised by the young students who are here that next year they'll be in Mboya. In fact, that student was telling the truth. We have been given 4,200 first years. And they were asking, where are these people going to go? I am more worried than them because when parents come, they ask me for hostels. So 4,250 first years coming in September. I don't know whether this thing is itching the people of Homa Bay per se. Because that is wealth. Apart from that, that is human beings who must live in a very good environment. Madam Governor, I want to appreciate you because very long ago, you could not even see a tarmac road the other side of town. And you can imagine what that little girl was talking about. They will tell you if you go to these classes, I put notices. Scrap your mud. Na iko chuma hapo. Don't put your leg on the wall. That notice is there. Don't dirtify here. That notice is there. And they have not done that. And they make sure they leave the mud outside and they don't put their leg on the wall. But how do you make these students more comfortable? They are challenging you and me and all of us that accommodation investment is real. And it has come at the right time when we are celebrating a man who had the best suits in this country, who loved the best of the things in this country, who loved to make sure the young people exploit their potential. And therefore, we are at the eye of the storm. For me, God willing, I want to assure you that we are going to make sure that Mboya leads and others follow. And with the resources that we have, because I believe that resources don't come to you, and whatever comes to you, use it well. This university is going to lead and others follow. I don't want to talk much because I can't talk, but to my students and potential students, please take it from me, and you've seen, for anybody to see. In fact, quite a lot of people who are even coming to do part-time here and work and visit ask whether this is a private university. Reasons I don't know, because this is not our potential. This is not where we should reach. These things are very normal. Therefore, we must make sure that these our students, some of them may not enjoy the hostel. Just like the students who came in 2016 did not have a lecture hall. The students who are graduating did not sit in an amphitheater. But as I speak now, we have furnished, we have established, I think it's the best. I don't want to say one of the best. And Professor Sperling will tell you we have already furnished our amphitheater. And it's like, what is really going on? Yesterday we had a visit by the VC of Strathmore and he couldn't believe it. Therefore, and we have done that with bare minimum resources that God has put in our disposal. Well-wishers, friends, please help us develop Tom Joseph Mboya University in his honor and the honor not only of the people of Mboya, but for this country and the world, so that we can be seen to be a people who can do the right thing. I want to take this opportunity to invite Honorable Millie. I'm told she's called a bad girl. I don't know why. Are you? Thank you, madam.
God is good, and all the time. Don't worry, that DJ has been sent to sabotage me. To Professor Sparling, to our governor, Honorable Gladys Wanga, to Professor Chola, ladies and gentlemen, comrades power. Comrades power. You know, we want to know that the comrades are here, even though you are, I'm told the comrades are on recess, right? Yeah, but bado mko wengi. Untie, umar, uyil, uchich, uchek. Amilo benda check. To those who don't understand Kijaluo, we have just said God is good, and all that. Yes, let me take this opportunity. That I got a letter inviting me for this function from the students, from the president. I don't know, where is the president? Yes, so thank you for inviting me. And then I was also invited by the governor. And we said for purposes of development, you can see our governor has taken the lead to ensure that we transform the county of Homa Bay. And I want to say that I'm very happy that this university was named after Tom Joseph Mboya, a visionary leader. And everybody who has spoken here is talking about Tom Mboya and vision. And I want to speak just very little or briefly to that. That you can imagine, Tom Mboya was killed in 1969. I don't want to tell you my age, but I only heard of Tom Mboya. I never saw him myself. But I heard of Tom Mboya. But anyway, I'm in my 50s. You see, nowadays you can Google. But I never saw Tom Mboya. I only heard of Tom Mboya. And despite the fact that over 50 years later he has died, some of you are shocked. They're saying, we thought you were 20. I'm not 20. I'm in my 50s. But I want to say, but I'm the youth leader. I've taken over from Honorable Buru as the new youth leader. But I want to say that over 50 years after Tom Mboya died, we are still talking about Tom Mboya. There are many people who died more recently, and we don't talk about them. Why? Because of the legacy he left. I think for all of us here, it's the young students. Which school is this? Which school? Nyalkinyi. Yes, I know Nyalkinyi. Nyalkinyi, how are you? You're fine? Are you successful? When you say you are successful, you own it. And I want to speak to you, the young ones from Nyalkinyi, and I want to talk to the students, the comrades who are here. Recently, not recently, actually 2 days ago in my devotion, I was reading the book of Matthew 26. And there are many people in that small chapter that are mentioned. One of them who is mentioned is a leper called Simon, who took in Jesus. So we remember him as a leper who took in Jesus. In that chapter, there's a woman who is remembered because she anointed Jesus with alabaster oil. In that one chapter, there are teachers of the law who betrayed Jesus and planned to kill him. In that same chapter, there's Judas Iscariot, who plotted the murder of Jesus even after being his disciple. Assuming you lived then, what would you be remembered for? Tom Mboya, at only 39 years, is remembered for so much. So it's not about your age. It's about having an intact vision. If you look at Homa Bay town, and we say this, I know Honorable Dr. Ivo Bara was saying it yesterday as we were walking, and going around, and a lot of us do not seem to understand this. Go to every town, including Nairobi. And Governor, I thank you for bringing back the order back to Homa Bay. That if you look at Homa Bay town, it was actually the best planned town in the whole country. And the other day when we were saying, we were talking, I know you've already passed and you have names already for the roads through the assembly. But we were so obvious. This one will be the university way or Mboya way, even though the main one can also be Mboya, because this town is really about Mboya. Yeah? You have the school way, the hospital way, because he made it. There is industrial area where garages. He made the town in a order. There was even a cemetery that I was told some people grabbed. For a small town like this, most towns didn't have that. But it takes vision. So young people, and it has nothing to do with where you're coming from. Recently I was sharing a story of where some of us came from. And I remember I was sharing it to my constituents in Suba North. And the women I was talking to, they went and told people, you mean Mheshimiwa alianza tu kama sisi? She came from a life of struggle. I was born and raised in this small town. So I want to thank the young lady when you are talking. And you are saying that ulikuwa unakanyaga matope ukikuja hapa. Umekanyaga kidogo, at least umekanyaga 1-2 years na uko na lami. Me, I kanyaga did for more than 20 years. I even did my attachment here at Homa Bay Law Court. And if it rained, the magistrate knew. I would go 5 hours late. You are waiting for the for the road to dry. We were living in, that time we were living around Salama. We would have to wait because you know the kind of soil here. You can't live. You just swim in mud. But now look at Homa Bay. Homa Bay is Europe. It speaks to vision. And I know under Governor Gladys, it's going to go beyond Europe. Homa Bay is going to be great. But it is because of vision. So what is your vision in life? What you want to become is up to you. Mboya, you see, humble beginnings. The father was a laborer. What do you want to become? It's up to you. The only other thing I wanted to add to you is when you see, and the VC, you have challenged us as leaders to give you support. But you have come from far. You can't imagine, Honorable Wanga will tell you, that even as we spoke about this university when the late Otieno Kajwang was alive, when devolution was coming, and we said we must have a university here, and it was a dream. We didn't think it would be a reality. Na ilianza kama joke hivyo, and then the other people who also came and took off and ran with the idea. It was wonderful. But if Honorable Otieno Kajwang were to wake up now, you wouldn't believe. But now me, I know I did it before, but I want to share it. You are seeing a university here. Me, when we grew up, there was only one TV in the whole town. The whole TV was in this university. It was up somewhere there. We all came to watch TV. One TV at the hall over there. We were very few. In our days, there were no widows. There were very few. One of them we buried 2 days ago with the governor. One of them used to live in one of these houses over here, Mrs. Penina. Thank God she's still alive. This tiny house, I don't know what you were using it for. She was a widow with 6 children. One of her daughters works with the United Nations, Nelly, and she's a writer. All her other children work in Sweden. From these tiny houses here. So there's a lot of stories around here. Homa Bay is a blessed place. So you are here. Remember, Homa Bay is the late General Ogola grew up here in Homa Bay. The current CS for education was in Homa Bay Primary. Jalash, so we know Jalas, was in Lake Primary. Caroli Omondi, Homa Bay Primary. Honorable Agostino Neto, Homa Bay Primary. Honorable Borero, Oriang Manywanda here, where I also grew up. Yeah? So Homa Bay, and you have Governor Wanga, married in Homa Bay. Ko iti dwaranga mondo kore kidongi. Jonyal Kinyi, you are hearing me? What you become is up to you. Let me take this opportunity, because it's not my day, to invite Honorable Governor Gladys Wanga. And we can be upstanding.
Yeah, Che.
Please sit. Ochio to ochako nindo. Kosuneno gino achiewe. To unda kuchung'. Oko nindo niketo kuchung'. A few students who know the moves, please come forward. Amilo knows the moves, lakini mimi mkuje mnionyeshe. Jonyal kinyukia moves go. Era sechi onije. Thank you, DJ. Our guest speaker today, Professor Sparling, who's also teaching me in another world at Strathmore. Thank you for making time to come to Homa Bay for this Mboya memorial. Honorable Dr. Millie Mabona was just about to complete her PhD. And we've been joking, Professor Chola, that very few of us are remaining without PhDs among the women leaders in Homa Bay. Because if you think about it, we have Honorable Dr. Ivo Bara, serious, kichwa moja degree, tanda uoya. Honorable Dr. Lillian Gogo, kichwa moja degree tanda uoya. She even went back and did law. Honorable Dr. Joyce Osogo Bensuda. Even Honorable Dr. Beatrice Ogola. Then now we have the two of us here who are the loudest, but without PhDs. So we've decided to go back to school in pursuit of serious learning. And Honorable Millie is now a PhD student. Now we are calling her Honorable Doctor by faith. Even she's told me in the morning she was in class at 6 learning probability. I don't know what exactly she was learning. I've also gone back to school. Then we have the men. They have no PhDs. They are called Kaluma. Ward Chief. Karoli. Adipo Kuome. So we've said, as the women, we've made a decision. We are going to leave that camp of Gladys Wanga. No, we are leaving there. Professor Chola, we are always proud to be in this university and for the good work that you're doing. Together with the rest of the faculty, I can see our DVCs here, and we are always proud of you. Our CECs, please rise. I want to introduce you. CC for Roads, Danish Onyango. Even we want to call you doctor, but now there is nothing there. Danish. CC Pere. We want to call you doctor, but we also Mr. Pere. Okay. And our CC Roslyn Omolo. We want to call you doctor, but we just say Roslyn Nyaugenya. Hiya. Okay. So the rest of the staff of Homa Bay, please just rise and wave. Santeni Sana, we have a whole contingent here. Our students, comrades power, comrades Ria, comrades wisdom. Yes. Our other students who are not yet comrades, but they are going to become comrades. Mko sawa? Nyalkinyi mko sawa? Which is the other school? Huh? St. Ambrose mko sawa? St. Ambrose mko? Which is the other school? Huh? The school of Mama. Ogande National Mukosawa. Your voices are low. Ogande Mko. Which is the other school? Nyamogo. Nyamogo is my school. Nyamogo girls Mko. Habari ya Ratanga. Okay, wako base, eh? Which other school? Huh? I'm finishing with the schools. Schools, is there any other? Rangwe comrades. Very good. And the rest of the comrades, power. I'm very happy to be here today. So the students came to me, together with you, Mwalimu. Chairman, the committee that came to my office, please just rise. Yeah, thank you so much. You came to my office and you, please just sit. You had an idea to commemorate Mboya today, the 5th of July. At first I thought it was the 5th of June. So I told you guys, Banapana, we are going to finish Madaraka and we will be too tired. But you said, no, it's July. So I told you that I'm going to make time to come so that we commemorate together. And I came because I was myself a student leader at KU. I was the first woman to be Secretary General of the Students' Union at Kenyatta University. And one day, we took courage and went to Honorable Ngilu's office. And we had organized something similar, but it was a HIV sensitization week in KU. As that was our first event as student leaders. And we didn't know anybody in her office, so we just went. And we said, we are students from Kenyatta University, we are student leaders, we were put in the waiting room. So we were wondering whether we would ever see her in that waiting room. So we just sat and sat and sat. And finally, we saw the minister herself walking into the waiting room. And then she said, you are who? She was talking to other people. You come back and see me tomorrow. Your issue is being sorted. She talked to everybody in the waiting room. And then she came to us. And then we said, we were two. We were student leaders from Kenyatta University. And she hugged us. She didn't know us. She had never seen us. She took us like this, the two of us, and went with us to her office. Then she asked, what do you want? Then we told her the story of what we wanted. She said, on that date, I'm not available, but I'm going to take you to the assistant minister, whom I want to come. And she took us again physically to the assistant minister's office and told him he has to come to KU for our event. And finally, he came. That's why it was so important for me to come, because it means something. When as students you take initiative for the leaders to support you and for you to know. And when I finally finished school, when I went there was an advertisement for internship. So when I went for the interview for internship, I was asked, what experience do you have? I told you, see, when I was Secretary General, I organized this HIV testing week. This is how we organized it. They said, you have a lot of initiative. You are the intern from today. So I got the job as intern. I didn't know those people, by the way, who had advertised the internship. And that was, I was intern for 6 months, and then they employed me to work for them. So these opportunities, these things that you put together mean a lot. Put them on your CV. Make sure it counts for something as you move forward. And that's why I'm here today, and I'm very, very happy that the bad girl also found time to come, because it means a lot for us to come and just be together with you as comrades and tell you that really every journey has a beginning. As you know, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And at the end of the day, I want to agree with Honorable Millie and Professor Chola in saying that vision is everything. You have to think it, you have to dream it. But if you start by saying, I have no money, then you're going nowhere. You must draw your vision, know where you want to go. Then money will now follow your vision when you explain it. And that is why, Professor, this university is the way it is. And that is why Honorable Millie has done the work that she's been able to do for Suba North. And been able to, if you go and look at what she's been able to do in the last couple of years, not in one day, but today if you're driving towards Mbita, you see the Mbita TTI. It's work of many years. You see the MTC in Mbita. It's work of many years. You see the kind of offices we have for administration there. Work for many years. And the foundation that Mboya built here in Homa Bay. Because when he came, he did the municipal hall. Today we use it as the county assembly. He did the hospital. In fact, at the hospital, the buildings that he built are still there. It is only us who have come and we've brought down part of that building to do a new 5-story accident and emergency center after what Mboya built. And I can tell you, I don't sleep any day just thinking that I must finish this A&E, because if I brought down a Mboya building and I leave a white elephant, I may never be forgiven by the people of Homa Bay. So the power of vision, comrades, you've already been told. Money is not the thing. Where you come from means nothing. If everybody were to tell their story here of where they've come from, the challenges they have faced, I'm telling you, we would sit here until the cows come home. Until the cows come home. So you little girl, you're sitting there thinking, I'm at Nyalkinyi. How can I come from Nyalkinyi to anywhere? Huh? You can come from Nyalkinyi or Nyamogo to anywhere you want to be, including the heart of New York City, at the heart of that UN building that Millie was telling you about. So long as you keep the hope and keep the vision. You must dream and you must dare. And if your vision doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. It has to scare you. That was said by Ellen Sirleaf Johnson, first woman president of Liberia. You know, if that dream doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. It must scare you. So you girls sitting there and boys, are you dreaming big? Are you dreaming big like Mboya? I can't hear the yes. I'm coming to comrades. First, I want these girls sitting here and boys. You girls and boys, are you dreaming big? Yes. Oh, I love that. I want it louder. Are you dreaming big? Yes. Thank you. Dream it and never care about your status now. You can go anywhere and become anything. And comrades, are you dreaming big? Yes. Seriously? Yes. Mko sure? Unkadier? Professor, when you sought me out before I even came to Strathmore to talk to me about Mboya and your friendship and your journey and what you wanted to do for the university and with the university and the mausoleum. And I want to tell you that we are here to walk that journey together with Professor, the county government, yourself, and whatever we want to do to immortalize Mboya more than we have already done. So now I'll read my speech for the record. It is a great honor and privilege to join you all at Mboya University on this important occasion as we commemorate this year's Mboya Memorial under the timely theme, Leadership, Legacy, and the Future of Africa. Today is more than just a ceremony. It's a sacred moment of remembrance and recommitment. It is a time to reflect on the life of Mboya, on the mission he dedicated his life to ignite passion and purpose across Kenya and throughout the African continent. Mboya was a trailblazer. His story is not one of privilege or easy pathways, but one of resilience, audacity, and an unshakable belief in the transformative power of leadership. He showed us that leadership is not about the position we hold, but about the purpose we pursue. It is about breaking barriers, building bridges, and crafting bold dreams for a free, dignified, and prosperous Kenya and Africa as a whole. And I want to say that when we went for the state visit to the United States with the president earlier last year, the center of Kenya's collaboration with the United States revolves around Mboya and the Kennedy airlifts. So that is the fulcrum that holds the relationship between Kenya and the United States that has spanned over the last over 60 years. Every place we went, every American we spoke to spoke about Mboya, including Kamala Harris and all the other people we interacted with. From the streets of Nairobi to the chambers of international diplomacy, Mboya championed the cause of the African people. His leadership birthed opportunities, opened global doors, and elevated the African child from the periphery to the center stage. Through the famous airlift program, he gifted this continent a generation of leaders, thinkers, and change makers. And I don't want to say, but I must say, Barack Obama is a product of Homa Bay. Through who? His fingerprints are etched in institutions, policies, and empowered lives, not just in Kenya, but across the globe. One of his most powerful calls to action still echoes today. Our continent has been for too long the footstool of others. It is time to assert our rightful place in the sun. That call remains urgent. Africa's rightful place is not on the sidelines of history. It is at the table where global decisions are made, where innovation flourishes, and where shared prosperity is built. I take immense pride in Mboya University standing majestically on the shores of Lake Victoria. It is a center of learning and a living monument to his vision. It is a beacon of possibility, a cradle of future African thinkers, leaders, innovators, and servants of the people. But our duty does not stop at remembrance. We must walk the next mile of his unfinished journey. The work of leadership is practical and calls us to act with urgency, integrity, and a clear vision for a better tomorrow. That is why, as a county, we are committed to creating an enabling environment where leadership and innovation can thrive. Through investments in education, youth empowerment, blue economy development, and sustainable resource management, we are translating this vision into tangible action. In alignment with this vision, during the just concluded Blue Economy Summit that was held right here, President William Ruto committed to supporting the growth and modernization of Mboya University. Among the key infrastructural developments that is proposed is the establishment of a state-of-the-art blue economy research center of excellence, a critical step that will position this university as a hub for cutting-edge research, innovation, sustainable exploitation of our lake's vast resources. This center will not only advance scientific knowledge, but will also directly support the livelihoods of our local communities who depend on the lake. And Professor, I want to assure you that we will walk the journey of following up that promise together. We will make sure that the promise was made and that it is delivered. And you heard me speaking about it in my Madaraka Day speech, because we want to keep it top of mind so that we seek the funding for shipyard to work together with the university to do that center of excellence for the blue economy. We must bring our inland waters to the blue economy conversation, not just outside. You know, there are programs that have gone only to the coast and the other places, because initially the blue economy was conceived to be only about the sea. But now we are bringing the conversation to the inland waters. I had a student leader speaking about accommodation, housing. I don't know, is there a difference between hostels and housing? What is the difference? Yeah. Yeah, governors have been Mr. for a long time. Yeah. Yeah. I've now understood. So hostels are the ones within school. Houses are the ones comrades some want to stay outside, some want to stay inside. Okay, I've heard you. So I think the challenge for housing is a challenge for more affordable housing, but also for investment. Honorable Millie, all those Homa Bay people who are now big people, I think it's time for them to come back and invest in housing. Hata mimi nitakuwa investor sasa wa housing. Kila mtu ajenge something modest that students can stay in. Because if we have, how many students are we going to have now? We are now going to have almost 15,000 students. They must stay somewhere. And they must be secure. And they must have decent housing. Ana unaweza pata kamrembo, you want to go and see them, sasa unakaka hivi. Ukienda kwa mabati pale, jirani nayo ako hapo. Everything is now, nothing is doing. Nothing doing completely. So, I think comrades power. So, I know that when we were here with the president, he pledged, and it has been advertised, 2,300 housing units for hostels, and we're also going to mobilize investment for housing. And we're also going to mobilize for additional affordable housing, particularly bedsitters, nini, ndio comrades wapate vile wataishi. So these commitments are a powerful affirmation of the potential of this university. And also, before I forget, also the prison land that is supposed to be surrendered to the university so that the university can be able to operate in a much bigger space. I think we had that firm commitment. It is upon you, me, and the leadership to now follow up to ensure that what was promised is delivered. To the students and faculty of Mboya University, you are standing on sacred ground. This is your time to lead, to innovate, and to rise. May you be inspired not just by Mboya's name, but by his example, an example of relentless service, fearless leadership, and an unshakable belief in the potential of Africa's youth. I commend the Mboya University fraternity for keeping this important legacy alive and for nurturing a generation that does not just study leadership, but lives it. May we all in our spaces and our spheres of influence carry forward the torch of Mboya. Let us lead with purpose, let us build with courage, and let us serve with honor. Thank you, and long live Mboya University, and long live Homa Bay. God bless Homa Bay. DJ Koro in the class. Honorable Dr. Millie Mabona, who's also the whip in the National Assembly. Amesema comrades atawapea 40K, mjipange nayo hapo.